I'm gonna be drawing for my next hobby. So when I say drawing, obviously I'm holding up coloring books. I mean drawing in my coloring books. I don't mean freehand stuff because I am a terrible artist. Like, y'all don't even want to see that. I can't draw freehand for crap. Like, it just doesn't come out good. And I don't have like I have a certain type of creativity. Like, I know I'm a creative person, but I'm not a drawing type of creative person. I just can't start drawing something that like just pops up in my mind, because nothing pops up in my mind when I start drawing. And then when it does, it doesn't come out anything like how I imagined it. So we're just not doing that. We're coloring. We're doing coloring and coloring books. I got a 100-pack of Crayola colored pencils, and I got some coloring books. And for the next 30 days, that's what we will be doing. So one of the main reasons why I decided to add coloring to my hobbies for this series that I've been doing was because like 3 years ago or so, I got really into coloring in coloring books. I was really addicted to my phone at the time. Like, I was all up in social media, spending like too much time every single day scrolling and just literally not being intentional with how I'm spending my time and not being present in the moment. And I was stressed out from it too. Like, I feel like many of you guys can resonate, and I've talked about it on my channel a lot too. The feelings of being stressed from like being on your phone too much or getting notifications or feeling like you're left out, even though it's like you're engaged with people on your phone, you're still being left out from the present. And so to combat this, I turned to coloring. My friend, she was like, you might like coloring books, it's kind of relaxing, I do it. And so I decided to give it a shot. I bought a couple of coloring books, I bought a 100-pack of Crayola colored pencils, and I started coloring. I did it for like a few months, and then it kind of just faded out. I got really busy with work and school, so I shoved them into the bottom of my desk, and I just never looked at them again. So I decided I wanted to try and bring them back and win better than when I'm doing hobbies for my channel. I don't have like a specific goal like I had been doing with this hobby. I just want to do it when I have free time or when I feel like I could benefit from a break of my normal habits or my normal everyday routine. And so I'm going to slowly incorporate this whenever I have free time or whenever I'm feeling stressed out or whenever I just feel like I want to color or do something that isn't really mentally challenging, because coloring is really about like embracing your creativity, I think. And so I'm going to start implementing that through the next 30 days. I have no real timeline. I've got no time restraints, no goals, no quotas to be hitting with this. I just want to start doing it. Without further ado, let's hit the next 30 days. So I'm done coloring for the day. This is what I have. Again, like I said, I'm not really like trying to track any progress. So like, I don't want to do like a coloring sheet or whatever a day or like for X amount of time. I just kind of want to do it until like, one, my hand gets sore, because my hand's kind of sore right now. Or two, like until I get bored of it. But this is what I drew. I didn't really have a tactic when I started off, and then I decided I'm just gonna like break the rules. So I started with like the water and like the little bricks and stuff, and I was kind of following like realistic like rules, I guess, of like how things should look. And then I just said screw it, and I started grabbing whatever, like 3 colored pencils. I would just like kind of like close my eyes and choose at random, and I make those houses. So we got a lot of pink in here, a lot of greens and stuff. They don't look very traditional by any means, and so I want to kind of do that for my drawings. Like, I don't want it to be traditional or realistic or follow any sort of like rules and stuff. But one thing that I kind of want to like, that I kind of have a question of is like, first of all, who sort of like said that coloring is like for children? Because I feel like that's what like my whole thought process was. I feel like coloring has this notion that it's only for like little kids. Like, when you look at who's buying these coloring books or who these coloring books are marketed for, it's all kids. So who was the person that was like, you know, adults, y'all can't color, like you guys don't color. I know there was like a point when I was like a child that I was like bored with coloring. Like, I would choose to do like to play my Nintendo or to like go to the park with my friends instead of coloring, or I would be like, coloring is lame. Like, I remember there was a point when I turned, I don't know what age, maybe like 10 or like 12 or something, when I was like, you know, coloring's lame, I don't want to do it anymore. And I just kind of stopped coloring. But then, like, I don't know, who like officially said, yeah, like adults can't color? I know that it's like we do have more important things to be doing, obviously, like working or going to school or like creating a family are more like higher priorities for adults. So coloring isn't really like a time efficient thing that adults seem to be able to squeeze into their schedules. But I want to kind of research that and see maybe there's an answer there. And then the second thought that I have is kind of like, I don't know, like, why are there laws to coloring? Or why do I feel like there are laws to coloring? Is it because of like the fact that I am older now? Because I know like little kids, they color whatever colors. They don't really have like the guidelines of doing realistic like coloring pieces. like making the sky blue and the grass green. They don't really have that. This is what it needs to be. And that's sort of how I felt when I first started like this particular coloring book. Like I was like, the water's gonna be blue, the brick is gonna be red. And then like after I drew like those few things, I was like, why though? It's a coloring book. Like it's not meant to be realistic. It's meant to be creative and artistic and stuff. And so I just started doing random colors. But I wanted to know like why that was immediately like what I felt like I had to do. That was my thought process after the first day of coloring. Here's to day one and hopefully many more to come. I do enjoy it though. It was like a nice little peaceful break between working and stuff. Nice little mind break. Oh, another sort of like odd thing, I mean not odd thing, but just something that I don't really do in my everyday life now. I didn't play music or like listen to anything, which is what I had been doing for like any sort of mental like mind break. I would like listen to like a podcast, or I would like watch a documentary, or just play music in general. And I kind of just sat here in like silence, and it was nice. It was really nice. It was kind of relieving. It was like something that I don't really get to do, or don't allow myself to do, I guess. So just kind of something else to take note of. Hey y'all, Tasha from the future here. So I'm currently editing this video, and I just realized that I'm wearing like the same jacket in the only 2 clips that I filmed for this video, which is completely coincidental. They are completely separate weeks even. I only filmed like 2 main clips for this video just because I thought it was kind of boring and not something that would interest you guys if I just recorded every single time I drew. And so I only recorded the first day that I did it and then the first time that I went to the park, and I just so happened to be wearing the same jacket even though they were on completely separate weeks. And I just wanted to kind of address that because it was bothering me while I was editing. I was like, oh shoot, I'm really gonna like call myself out here. But just a quick PSA, completely separate weeks, wash the jacket in between. It was just really bothering me and I thought I should address it. So back to the video. So I was running errands today and I had some free time before I had to be somewhere else, and so I decided to bring my coloring book and I would like stop at a park and color. And it's really nice and peaceful, to be honest. Like this is like when I started, when I decided I was going to start coloring, I kind of had the intention of like doing it outside more, just because when I was doing yoga too, I really enjoyed like being outside. And I've always liked coming to parks and like riding, or like I used to film all my videos at parks, and so it was really peaceful. Just like sit and be with nature, listen to music and stuff. And so that's what we're doing today. Well, for the past 30 days, I have been drawing off and on occasionally as like a hobby, and it's honestly been super relaxing. My only like issue with this past month has been that I haven't had much time dedicated to myself that I've like put aside for doing hobbies in general, just because of the fact that we've been moving. Obviously, we're not in our normal filming area, and we moved into a new home, me and my family, and so I've been very preoccupied with that, and so I didn't really have much time to draw. But I did, look, I got four of them done, and I had like no quota. Like I didn't want to finish certain number of whatever, do like, I didn't want to finish a certain number of drawings at the end of this, and I didn't want to like put X amount of hours or X amount of time towards it. I just wanted to do it in my free time, and I did, and it was really enjoyable when I did do it, and I'm like really proud of how they came out. I'm not even gonna lie. Like look at the Swiss Family Treehouse. I don't even know who the Swiss Family is. I'm a fake Disney fan, but look at that. Isn't it so cute? And then Space Mountain, look at, none of these colors are how Space Mountain actually is, but I really like it. So I'm really happy with how it all turned out. Oh, and then the steamboat, look at my steamboat. Isn't it beautiful? But I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I loved like the experience too because it was really calming. I've always been a fan of like drawing. At one point I was really into drawing, and I would go to the park, and I was like, I'm gonna do this from now on. I would like go to the park, sit at a bench, and just like sit there and draw. And so I did some of that during this month, but most of the time I sat at this desk and I just like sat here and drew, and like sometimes I would listen to music, other times I would like watch like a TV show or something, and it was just really calming. And so I think it was definitely something that I needed, especially during the move. The move has been a stressful event for me, and so it was nice to have this to kind of fall back on as a de-stressor. But all in all, it's been a good 30 days. I don't want to like just shove these crayons back into like my closet or wherever I was keeping it and like forget about it, because I do still want to use drawing as like a method of de-stressing and being able to implement my creativity. And so I do think that these 30 days and doing this as a hobby was kind of useful for me, because it kind of gave me like a new glimpse of how it actually is helpful for me. But yeah, all in all, great 30 days. If you guys like anything with like a little bit of creativity, just try drawing. Like, I know it sounds kind of dumb for like a 22-year-old to be drawing, but it's not. Like, it was really fun and really de-stressing, and especially in like the world that we live in today, everything moves so fast. And so this sort of really did like force me to slow down and to like draw, and like time would like escape from me. I'd start and all of a sudden I'd be like, oh my goodness, like it's been like an hour. And so that was just nice to be able to like actually slow down and focus on just one thing, especially with like how fast technology is moving now too. Like our attention spans are very small. We kind of like consume things in a very fast nature. Like, we'll look at a video and just scroll on to the next, or look at like an Instagram photo and just quickly scroll on to the next. So this was a nice activity to slow down and focus on one thing for a larger amount of time. Tune in next month to watch my new hobby. I'm going to be reading, because as I've talked about on this channel before, I've got a lot of books, and with the move I stopped reading as much as I had been. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. If you guys have any hobbies that you enjoy, that you think I might enjoy too, go ahead and comment it down below. I'd love to try one of your guys' hobbies out. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye.